Hello, students. I have explained valencies of sodium, silver, potassium, and copper in the previous video, that is in video 2. Now I am going to explain about valencies of other elements. Okay, anyway, before going into the details of other elements, let us try to understand the valency of copper again once more. For this, I am using large size slide. Uh, okay, okay, this is the Europe map. You know very well. In the Europe map, you will find a small portion called Denmark. Actually, in the Europe, the largest country is Russia. The second largest country is Denmark. The second largest nation is Denmark, because this Greenland, see the upper island, the large island, belongs to Denmark. Belongs to Denmark, and so Denmark is the second largest nation in Europe. Okay, what is the capital of Denmark? Is Denmark capital is Copenhagen, that I am showing in this enlarged figure. See, this is Denmark, and this Denmark has capital somewhere here, Copenhagen, enclosed by yellow color. Beside Copenhagen, you will find another country called Sweden. Okay, the Sweden and Copenhagen are separated by small sea channel or narrow water channel, and so a large bridge was constructed from Copenhagen to Sweden. And once that bridge was constructed from Copenhagen to Sweden, the people of Copenhagen have two chances and two choices to go to Sweden. Either they can go by car over the bridge or by boat. I mean, they have two choices to go by bus or car or by boat. Okay, that is why sea route and land route అని చెప్పొచ్చు. You are comparing Copenhagen. You are comparing Copenhagen. See that here, Copenhagen with copper, and Copenhagen has two routes, land route and sea route. That is why it is Cu2 plus, and plus is positive. Positive means because the two routes brought development. The two routes brought development to Copenhagen, because of easy travel, the businesses expanded, and so it brought positive development to Copenhagen. Okay, anyway, before the bridge, there was only one route, sea route from Copenhagen to Sweden. That is why copper has two valencies, Cu plus 1. After construction of bridge, Copenhagen has two routes. One is sea route and land route, and hence copper has another valency, Cu2 plus. Okay, this is all about copper. Next, let us go to magnesium. Okay, for this magnesium, you consider this Indian Ocean and Africa here, Saudi Arabia here, India here, and these islands belongs to Indonesia. See, beside Africa, there is a large island called Madagascar. This Madagascar is about more than 3,000 4,000 kilometers from Indonesia, but it is just about 400 kilometers from Africa. 400 kilometers to Africa. But it was surprise to come to know that the first people who settled in Madagascar were people from Indonesia. They came to Madagascar in 1000 BC. But people of Africa came to Madagascar in 400 BC. 1000 AD. The reason is, even though Madagascar is 400 kilometers from Africa, and it was about 4,000 kilometers from Indonesia, the people of Indonesia first reached Madagascar in 1000 BC. The reason is when some Indonesian fishermen went into the sea for catching fish. A cyclone came, and that cyclone driven them by force of wind to a long distance travel, and finally after 1 or 2 months later they reached Madagascar. That happened in 1000 BC. In the Madagascar they found various trees and various animals and various flowers, various fruits, etc., etc. That was surprise to them very much, and again that made many Indonesians to come from Indonesia to Madagascar. That happened in 1000 BC. But only in 1000 AD only Africans came and settled in Madagascar. And between Indonesians and Africans there was a gap of nearly 2000 years. Okay, even then when Africans came, and already at that time Indonesians were well settled in Madagascar, both people contributed for the development of Madagascar. Africans contributed for the development of Madagascar, and Indonesians also contributed for the development of Madagascar. So Madagascar means Mg. We are linking Madagascar with magnesium. See that here, Madagascar with magnesium. 2 plus means two tribes. One tribe is Indonesia, another tribe is from Africa mainland. These two tribes contributed for the development of Madagascar, and so it has Mg2 plus. Madagascar has Mg2 plus. Madagascar is compared with magnesium. Okay, this is all about magnesium. Next, let us learn about calcium. Calcium valency is 2 plus. We are comparing calcium with California. See, this is United States of America. In the United States of America, at present, United States has 50 states. Among the 50 states, largest state is California. California is also called Silicon Valley. Why it is called Silicon Valley? Because many semiconductor chips and the microprocessors, the CPUs that we use in computers, in cell phones and other things, all the things were first invented in California using the sand. Sand is called silicon. Sand is actually silicon dioxide, so you can also call it silicon. And California was the first region which developed semiconductor chips. That is why it is called Silicon Valley, because semiconductor chips are made up with silicon. Semiconductor chips and CPUs. CPU అంటారు కదా, కంప్యూటర్లో ఉపయోగించే చిప్స్ అంటారు కదా, ఐసీ చిప్స్. ఈ ఐసీ చిప్స్ అన్ని కూడా సిలికాన్ అనే సెమీకండక్టర్ తయారవుతాయి. ఆ సెమీకండక్టర్తో తయారయ్యే చిప్స్ను బాగా ఎక్కువగా మొదట కనుక్కున్నది, డెవలప్ చేసింది అంతా కూడా కాలిఫోర్నియాలో. అందువల్ల కాలిఫోర్నియా ఈజ్ ఆల్సో కాల్డ్ సిలికాన్ వ్యాలీ. The semiconductor used is silicon, and so California is called Silicon Valley. Okay, this California was first occupied by Mexicans. See that, the Mexicans here. And they occupied California in 1769. See that here, 1769, and developed it very much. Later, United States occupied California in 1847 and sent away Mexicans to Mexico, and they developed California very much. See, Mexico also developed California very much. United States also developed California very much. In this way, by two developments, California became very attractive point for other states of United States. Therefore, California, I am linking California with calcium. Calcium valency is 2 plus, because two nations, Mexico and United States, both contributed for the development of California, and hence California valency is 2 plus. Mexicans occupied California in 1769. United States occupied California in 1847. California is also called Silicon Valley because semiconductor chips, CPUs are made up with silicon, and that CPUs were developed and invented first in California, and hence California is also called Silicon Valley. Next, zinc valency. Zinc valency is 2 plus. I am linking with Zambia and Zimbabwe of African continent. In the African continent, there are many countries, and out of many countries, two countries are called Zambia and Zimbabwe. And Zambia and Zimbabwe have more elephants than any African nation. These elephants were specially protected, and hence they are striving in both nations, and they are growing in number in both nations. They are growing in more number in both nations is positive, and in both nations that is why it is 2 plus. Okay, zinc has two valency of 2 plus, because I am comparing Zambia and Zimbabwe with zinc, with zinc, and zinc has 2 plus 2 valency. The reason is in both countries elephants were growing in number very much, and so a positive sign is also included. Let us go to next slide. And iron has two valencies, Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus, Fe2 plus and Fe3 plus. I am comparing iron with India. India at first has two names, Bharat and Hindustan, up to 5th century BC, and up to 500 BC India has only two names, Bharat and Hindustan, and hence Fe2 plus, iron has Fe2 plus only. After 5th century, that is in 4th century BC, Alexander invaded India. Alexander came to India from Greek, and from Alexander intervention, India also got another name called India. Because Indus River is there. Indus River, that is Sindhu River, is there in the Pakistan present day. At that time, that Indus River was called as India by Greeks, and so India got its name as India by the river Indus. So by Alexander invention, India, Bharat, our nation got another name called India. So by the 4th century, India has three names. What are the three names? Bharat, Hindustan, and India. So iron also has another valency called Fe3 plus. At first, only India has two names, Bharat and Hindustan, and so valency of iron is Fe2 plus. But by the Alexander invasion, our nation got third name called India. So India has now three names, Bharat, Hindustan, and India, and so valency of iron is Fe3 plus. Next, aluminium. Aluminium valency is Al3 plus. Actually, it should be written not like that. I am correcting it. Okay, right. It is correct. Aluminum valency is Al3 plus. Al3 plus. దీన్ని పైన రాస్తే అల్యూమినియం పైన రాస్తారు కదా, సూపర్ స్క్రిప్ట్ అంటారు. ఏమంటారు? సూపర్ స్క్రిప్ట్ అంటారు. కింద రాస్తే సబ్ స్క్రిప్ట్ అన్నారు. ఓకే, సూపర్ స్క్రిప్ట్. See here in this map, some 3-4 locations are shown. Italy is shown. Italy capital is Rome, that was rounded by yellow color ink. And also another nation is shown in the West Asia, that is called Lebanon. See that beside Cyprus island there is a Lebanon, a country, something a small country. And here also the sea is Mediterranean Sea, that is also rounded by yellow color ink. And a town is called Tunis is shown here. The Tunis previously called as Carthage. Okay, this is all about you have to know. See, what I want to say is this Lebanon is also called Phoenicia. Okay, Phoenicia. These Phoenicians were able to go deep into the Mediterranean Sea. They were going to deep into Mediterranean Sea from this point to this point, even crossing Gibraltar and going up to France, other African nations. The reason is a special tree was growing in Lebanon at that time. The special tree is cedar. Cedar provides very high quality wood. By that wood, the Lebanese or Phoenicians were able to build very strong ships. Using those strong ships, those Phoenicians traveled to various parts of Mediterranean Sea. They established many cities along the coast of Mediterranean, and also Carthage was established by Phoenicians. At the same time, Rome was also established. Okay, these two countries were established with a gap of 70 years. about 700 BC. In the 700 BC, with a gap of 770 years gap, Rome and Carthage were established. Both were at first Rome was controlling only surrounding regions. The Carthage was controlling surrounding regions, but in the course of time, over the course of hundreds of years, both Rome and Carthage developed very much. They occupied large regions. Suppose Carthage occupied all this region, Rome occupied all these regions, something like this. Thereby, these two became very powerful city states. Rome and Carthage become powerful city states, and so a rivalry, శత్రుత్వం అనేది ఏర్పడింది. A rivalry established between them. The result was they fought three wars. After third war, Carthage was completely defeated, and it was occupied by Rome. And after that, Rome has became single most powerful leader in the Mediterranean Sea. Thereby, Rome occupied all the Europe. Okay, Rome occupied all the Europe and many nations in Asia, many nations in Africa. Like that, Roman culture spread all over the known world at that time. Even Roman culture even spread to England. England will be somewhere here, and even English people ruled many parts of the world. They simply introduced their culture. Their culture is nothing but Roman culture. So today, whole world is simply following Roman culture. In case of dress, in case of education, in case of office work, in case of law enforcement, in case of forming of government. In many things, we can still see Roman influence. The reason is Rome became powerful by fighting three wars. Those wars are called Punic Wars. With whom? Carthage. After defeating Carthage, okay, the three wars spanned over 120 years. After 120 years only, Rome became victorious over Carthage. Okay. Anyway, after three wars, Rome occupied Carthage, and all this region called Algeria came under Carthage. So from Algeria, I am comparing Algeria with aluminium. It has 3+. 3+ means because only the Rome was able to occupy all this Algeria part after three wars. Why it is positive means because it has given positive effect to whole world. The Rome culture spread to Britain. Britain occupied many parts of the world, and simply British spread the culture of Roman people, and by that culture today we have modern world. That is why we are calling it as positive sign. So anyway, because of by three wars, Rome was able to conquer Carthage, and hence Al 3+. This Algeria is compared with aluminium. The 3+ is due to three wars that Rome engaged with Carthage. I stop now. I continue in the next class, next video.